Now, I didn't want to leave you without first explaining the basics of scripting on an Ubuntu Linux server, and it's really not very complicated. We'll go through creating an example script. Basically, a script is going to allow you to pre-configure certain commands and a series of commands so that, let's say, for instance, every morning when you come into work, your company says that you need to do certain things. You need to restart a certain process. You need to back up certain data. You need to dump certain log files out to another location. Whatever the case may be, you have certain things that you're going to be doing on a daily basis. And it would be very convenient for you to simply have those same commands written out in a script that you could choose to either execute, so you could manually execute the script to run those commands so you didn't have to type each command into the shell, or you could automate the task entirely using cron jobs, which we have already covered. So let's go ahead and create a very basic script. You can see here in my home directory, the very first file is called myscript.sh. So I've already created a basic script here. We're going to open that up in Nano. You can see at the top using 2 forward slashes. I have commented out the first line, a simple script to demonstrate how .sh files work. .sh files are going to be these script files that you'll be running through the shell, and for this tutorial we're really just going to talk about the basics here. So say that I want to grab the status of SSH, I want to grab the status of Apache 2, I want to check on the file system, and then I want to restart SSH and restart Apache. All I've done in here, you can see, is include the commands that I would like to run in myscript.sh, and I wrote out the file previously. I'll do so again. And then as far as running the script, if we're going to run the script manually, we will do it using sh and then a period followed by a forward slash and then the name of the script that we want to run. In this case, I ran the myscript.sh script. However, I want you to note something very important. Some of this script ran correctly. Not all of this script ran correctly. In particular, it was okay for me to grab the status of SSH and Apache, but at the very bottom, I wasn't able, you can see the fail over on the bottom right, I wasn't able to actually do that because I didn't have root privileges. So obviously the solution if we're doing this manually is to just go ahead and use sudo so that I have root privileges, and now you can see that everything went through just fine. Okay, and again, this is where you would determine, this is why you would determine where to place a script. So if I wanted to create a cron job to run this for me automatically at a certain time, and I know that I need root privileges, I would just have that script run as root. And I could place that in one of the folders and etc. that we talked about with cron jobs, or I could do sudo cron tab E in order to bring up root cron tab. Remember, we did that with sudo, so we are in root cron tab, and let's just have a little refresher on cron jobs here. So let's say that 22 minutes after the hour at 4 a.m. Every single day of the month, wildcard there with an asterisk. The months, let's say that I want to do every other month, and so I'll specify that here, every other month on Sunday. The command that I want to run, no reason to use sudo. We are in root cron tab, so it will be run as root, which means, of course, it has root privileges. We'll simply do sh home Kodi myscript.sh, the path to the script there. If we were to write out the changes, which I'm not going to do, if we were to write out the changes, then at 4:22 a.m., every Sunday in January, March, May, July, and so on and so forth. Every other month, the odd months, this script would run. And to see that here a little bit, we can... I can show this to you here. We do need to use sudo, just as I'm demonstrating this to you right here. And we need to, because we need root privileges and then just the complete path, sudo sh, and then the full path for the script that we want to run. And of course, we can see here that everything runs correctly. Okay, back into our home directory here. If you'll recall, when we called sh before, we did the period and the /. I made a little flub there that I edited out of the video because I put the period and the / in front of the full path, and that's just silly. The period and the /, they're telling sh that script is located in the current directory. Okay, if I don't use the period and the /, you can see that everything goes through just fine here as well. However, the period and the /, it's something that I always type. It's something that I was taught to type, in telling sh to look in the current directory for the script. Okay, so it's just shorthand for the current directory. Obviously, we're in the current directory, so here we don't need it and we can run it. But if we were to cd back into our root directory and we tried to run the script, it couldn't open it because it could not find it. Again, you can do the period, the /, it can't open it, it can't find it. Remember, we had to type in the complete path, which in this case was home, Cody, and then myscript.sh. Those are the basics of scripting. With this, you'll be able to automate tasks, especially when you combine it with your cron jobs. And remember to work smarter and not harder out there. So if there's something that you're doing every day at the same time every day, why not automate that task? Why not create a script to handle that, and then create a cron job to execute that script on your behalf? Also remember that when we were dealing with permissions, the X bit, read, write, and execute, that is definitely going to apply to scripts. So when you're setting permissions with the scripts you set up here, who do you want to be able to run that script? I think in most cases, if this is a script that you've created to automate one of your tasks, you're probably going to want to be the only one that can execute that script, but you can determine that for yourself. So those are the basics of scripting. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to direct all questions to me. I love answering those questions, love interacting with you as a student. So go ahead and let's get a discussion going here. If you have questions about scripting, I would love to answer that for you.